Loading. Welcome to Access the Animus.
Hello everyone and welcome to a new video here on Access the Animus. My name is Marco and today we're going to try and do something completely different from what we usually do here at ATA. That is going to be a community reactions video. So we're going to highlight and showcase some of the comments that you shared under our threads on social media, and we're going to comment on them as well. We're going to try and do this on a regular basis, and we're going to do that through the use of a hashtag that we already introduced in our streams. It's called hashtag ATA Labs. It's basically a hashtag that if you'd like to be featured in our future content, you can write to us using that hashtag. Your comment is going to be used in our labs at Access the Animus, and then we're going to feature them in videos such like this one. It's not gonna be only serious videos, it might be fun videos, it might be ironic ones as well. We're going to try and experiment something along the way. And this time we're going to start with the first question that we asked you on our Facebook and Twitter accounts. The question was, the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release soon, and we would like to know how you feel about it. Are you hyped? Are you annoyed? Or are you completely indifferent? So we took into consideration all the comments that we received with the hashtag ATA Labs, and I was wondering if such a divisive topic like the mythological content in the games, I was wondering if that topic would have created the same split in our comments as well, because usually we are very much oriented towards content that is in itself oriented towards hardcore fans on average. So I was wondering if we would have had comments that are more polarized towards like the old games and not the mythological content. But I'm actually happy and surprised because we have received actually a similar split to the one that you can receive and you can see on the other social media as well. So we had pretty much a 50-50, not really 50-50, but pretty much like we have a bit more of negative comments, a lot of hype comments as well, and we have some indifferent ones. And so let's dive into the comments and see which ones are the ones that we're going to highlight today, and see which are the ones that hit us the most. So before we dive into the positive and negative comments, we really wanted to highlight this comment by Ashley, who says, I really hope this DLC will tie into the main game story concerning Eivor and Odin. I hope to see some actual Isu events without the mythological veil as well. So general feeling, curious. This is very interesting actually, Ashley. Thanks for writing to us. I'm feeling similar in a way. I really hope this ties into Eivor and Odin's story. Of course, it's been promoted already in that regard. I also hope to see some of the actual Isu story without the mythological veil. I'm not as hopeful as you are. I don't expect that to happen. I mean, I do hope that. I don't expect that to happen. But fingers crossed. We're gonna see, I guess. And now let's have a look at the positive comments. Like I said, this is almost 50-50. Not the majority of those, but still we have a few that we can highlight. The first one is by Let's Talk Assassin's Creed. Hey Declan. Let's Talk Assassin's Creed is another member of the Mentors Guild, and he's writing to us saying, I'm hyped not just because I love mythology, but I feel that this DLC might give us some insight into the final moments of the Isu era, but I also hope to see pre-current Isu lore setup, which shows the Isu have been around longer than we currently know. This is very interesting actually. We've had, within the Mentors Guild, let's call it internal chat, we've had a discussion with Declan here about the potential for the DLC to delve a bit into the Isu lore and the Isu history, because there's a bit in the deep dive trailer where it's mentioned that the Isu themselves, along with Odin, they're trying to read some scripts, some writing that is dating way back. So it's not current to their time, but it's actually it has been written way before them. So there must be some kind of civilization before the Isu, or there's a lot of historical events involving the Isu. The Isu era has lasted for 2,400 years, as we mentioned in our videos. So I'm excited as well about that. Again, I wonder how that is going to be portrayed with the mythological veil. But yes, this is a positive comment. And another one that we want to show you is this one by Mattia, who is saying, for me, the Dawn of Ragnarok expansion is very important, both on a narrative level and on a lore level. Knowing more about the Isu era and their warfare intrigues me a lot, as it is a very important and vital plot component for the AC plot. Again, I agree with this. It's interesting to me, at least for the comments that we have received, and like I said, we always have to look at them a bit, considering the fans that are following ATA, of course. But I'm very surprised that the comments that are by the people that are excited about the DLC that we have received, they are mostly focused on the Isu story beyond the mythological veil, rather than other elements of the DLC. At least for now, we haven't received comments with the hashtag ATA Labs concerning the I don't know, the environments, the colorful world, or the mythology itself. Declan mentioned that he loved mythology, but I haven't seen a lot of people saying I'm excited about the abilities of the gameplay features and stuff. I don't know if that's an indicator or not, but even here, like, the people that are excited about this, they are excited about the Isu mythology, the Isu story. At least probably that comes from our fan base, of course. But still, I think that's a very interesting kind of like food for thought. But now let's dive into the negative side of things. The negative comments that we have received are pretty much oriented toward two topics specifically. One of them is fans that do not like the mythological aspect, or that think that it's too much oriented towards the fantasy side of things, and especially fans that don't recognize this as Assassin's Creed in general. And the other part, the other kind of negative comment that we received was pretty much oriented towards the price of the expansion of Dawn of Ragnarok, which is set at $40, which is, honestly, I agree, it's a lot, even considering the content that has been promoted for the game. But let's dive directly into the comments. The first one that we wanted to highlight here is the one by Lars Wille. Lars is one of our frequent commenters on Access the Animus, so thanks for coming and commenting here. Lars is saying, I am not at all excited for the DLC because of its mythological aspect. It's sad that they try to combine a real-life mythology with a made-up sci-fi element specifically made for this game. What I'm saying is just that I want some actual AC stuff like it was in the past. Yeah, I agree. In that regard, I agree, and a lot of hardcore fans also do agree with that kind of comment, with that kind of feeling. A lot of fans do not recognize this to be part of what you would expect to be Assassin's Creed. And honestly, I've seen a lot of also like people that are interested in a DLC saying, I do understand why people say that this does not feel like Assassin's Creed, but I'm still excited, etc., etc. This is really a common feeling among the fans. yeah, I hope that the next releases for Valhalla, if there's going to be, and the next games are also going to take more into consideration the grounded aspect of AC, which has been at its core since the beginning. The second comment that we're going to have a look at today, it's the one by Christophorus at La Red de Erudito, who is saying, I think Dawn of Ragnarok should have been set in the real Isu world featuring authentic Isu experience. The myth world was cool and well explained in the main game, but Dawn of Ragnarok could have been the first playable Isu DLC in the history of the saga. Sadly, a big missed opportunity. Yes, I also agree with this, even though I don't expect, even in the future, to have like a dedicated content focused on the actual Isu times and an actual Isu experience. I would expect that maybe to happen as a very kind of like side content in one of the upcoming main games. I don't expect a DLC content to be focused on a real Isu experience, because sadly, as hardcore fans, we also should, I believe we should recognize that, like, sadly again, but modern day and the Isu stuff is not like mainline content. It doesn't feel like it is. It's part of that. Like, the Isu are more part of the mainline content, sure. Modern day especially is part of that negative cycle where the fans are not really interested, so the devs are not investing a lot, and so the fans are less interested in that, etc, etc. And the same goes for the actual real Isu events and story. We are trying our best on ATA to highlight that kind of story and how to read through the mythological veil and stuff, because like we believe that the Isu meta story is really interesting, and it's one of the backbones of Assassin's Creed, but not a lot of like the average fan are interested in that. And also, another reason why I don't see this kind of like fully Isu, real Isu content actually taking place and like being available and being developed, I don't see that happening because I would expect the devs and the writers to plan to keep the Isu mysterious to a degree. If you're playing like a full DLC where you can see everything about the Isu, about a specific chunk of their timeline and everything, I'd be excited to play it, of course. I'd love it. Please do it. But that probably would remove a bit of the mystery aspect surrounding the Isu. I think it could still be done while keeping the mystery aspect, but you would tell a lot by spending a lot of time and many hours in an Isu world. The closest thing that we have seen is the Atlantis DLC in Odyssey. That was it gave us the visuals and the feel of going amidst a real Isu city, but then again the entire story there, you couldn't know what was happening, what was canon and what was not. When I played, I always had like this feeling in the back of my mind that why should I care if I don't know what is real and what is not, what is counting towards the next releases and what is actually just made up. So I also think like Christophorus mentioned, it was nice and well justified in the main game, but on the long run I think it might have some fatigue, at least on the hardcore fans. Probably standard or casual fans, or like fans that are not really invested in the Isu story. They might be more interested in seeing, I don't know, the Japanese mythology or the Chinese mythology or whatever, wherever the next game is going to take place, and see the Isu story portrayed like this. Not sure if it's going to keep its appeal over the hardcore fans over time. And the last comment that we wanted to highlight today is an example of the other type of negative comments that we mentioned earlier, the one about the pricing of the DLC. And it comes from Leslie. Leslie is saying, I am an AC fan who doesn't mind the direction that the franchise has taken, but as much as I love Valhalla, I think roughly £30 is a shocking price for a DLC for 30 plus hours. I would have been much happier with a second season pass, so I won't be buying it for a while. Yes, the pricing is a very big discussion topic, the pricing of the DLC, for many reasons. The main game allows you to play way more than 30 plus hours, way more than double those hours. It's marketed as its own game in a way, like a tiny game in a way, but also it feels like this is too much. However you're going to look at it. And also I've seen a lot of other comments about the fact that before its release, the DLC is already coming at a discount in selected retailers across the world, which is also doesn't look very nice on the people that pre-ordered the DLC when it was announced. So there's also that issue. But in general, $40 or £30 in this case, it is shocking for a DLC. I don't know, it feels too much, and I understand why fans might be more interested either in looking for the discounts before the release or waiting for the price to actually go down and wait for months or weeks before trying the DLC. Valhalla, after all, got some discounts, I think 2 weeks after the release, maybe earlier, so it's probably gonna happen with the DLC as well, so I fully understand why people would not like to get it at day one. And that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed our new format that we're going to try and establish in the coming weeks as well. Did you agree or disagree with the comments that we shared? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you missed your chance to be featured in this video, be sure to follow us in our social media. You can find us at Access the Animus on Facebook or Twitter, and be sure to interact with the dedicated posts. Also, make sure to also use the hashtag ATA Labs to show us that you want your post to be featured in our future content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.